1980s international news. In 1980, John Lennon, a founding member of the Beatles, was shot and killed. He was killed on December 8th in New York City by Mark Chapman. Earlier in the day, before the murder, Chapman had waited outside for an autograph. Lennon signed an album for him and left with his wife for a recording studio. Upon returning a few hours later and exiting his limousine, Chapman killed him. His murder triggered an outpour of mourning around the world, and his wife chose not to hold a public funeral. On July 29, 1981, Prince Charles and Diana were married at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Here's a clip from the wedding.
So, from the splendor of the cathedral, out into the sunshine, the crowds waiting to welcome the Prince and Princess of Wales.
The Falkland Islands War was fought in 1982 between Argentina and the United Kingdom. The Falkland Islands are located in the South Atlantic Ocean, east of Argentina. It began on April 2nd when Argentina invaded the islands over a sovereignty dispute. The British responded powerfully and Argentina surrendered on June 14th, with the islands remaining under British control. On October 25th, 1983, forces led by the U.S. invaded Grenada, an island in the Caribbean. It was started when a military coup ousted a brief revolutionary government, and U.S. forces stepped in to stop the brutal military government. 7,600 troops defeated the Grenadian resistance, and the military government was disposed in December 1983. In 1984, the Iran-Iraq War intensified. The war between the two countries worsened when Iraq attacked Iranian tankers in an oil terminal. Iran struck back by attacking tankers carrying Iraqi oil and many of the tankers of the Persian Gulf states supporting Iraq. The war wouldn't come to an end until late 1988. Mikhail Gorbachev became the General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union on March 11, 1985. He was 54 years old at the time and the party's first leader to be born after the revolution. His primary goal as General Secretary was to revive the Soviet economy. He served this position until 1991. On April 26, 1986, a nuclear meltdown at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine occurred. The plant was under direct jurisdiction from Moscow, and large quantities of radioactive contamination were released in the atmosphere. The surrounding area was immediately evacuated, and people had to leave their whole lives behind. It is considered the worst nuclear power plant accident in history, and thousands of people died from the cancer that it caused. The Palestinian Intifada began in 1987 between Israel and the Palestinians. Here's a clip of the violence. In 1998, Pan Am Flight 103 was blown up in the sky over Lockerbie, Scotland. The flight was on its way from London to New York. All 243 passengers and 16 crew members died. 11 people on the ground were also killed from falling debris. Responsibility for the attack was credited to Libya, and it has recently been discovered that Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi had personally ordered the bombing. In 1989, the Tiananmen Square protests occurred in China. Here's a video of one of the protests.